Welcome to Real Estate Agent Superstars. I'm your host, RJ Baxter with Intercap Lending, and I have got an awesome guest for you today. Barry Overton from EXP Realty is joining us, and Barry is one of those agents that just takes things to another level. And I say one of those agents, he may do it to a level that no other agent does. And he's gonna share with us today some of the things he's doing to take real estate to the next level, to give his clients a higher level of what he's offering, and share some of his plans for the future. So welcome to the show, Barry.
Hey, RJ, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much. And really excited to have this conversation today.
Yeah, I am too. I really appreciate your time. So tell us a little bit more first about yourself. How did you get into real estate? What attracted you to this business? Tell us a little bit about that part of your history.
Yeah. So I have to kind of start from the beginning with my background. I'm a Gulf War veteran, spent 26 years in law enforcement, and now coming up on 22 years in real estate. And it really actually started because of the law enforcement career of back in 2000. I was a Denver police officer, and in Denver, you had to live in the city limits if you were a city employee. Well, along comes 2001, and there was a charter change that was made that allowed police officers to live anywhere in the metro area. So as you can imagine, there was a mass exodus of police officers at that time. So I realized that this was a good opportunity to be in the real estate business. And the majority of my business for probably 12 years, while I was still a police officer and doing real estate, came right there from the police and sheriff's department.
Okay, interesting. So what is it about real estate? Why did you choose this field of all things?
I've always enjoyed real estate. And one of the things that, Tony Robbins once said, if you want to be successful, find someone that has achieved the level that you want to achieve and copy what they do until you get the same results. And growing up, the reason I became a police officer was because my uncle in Austin, Texas, he was the first African-American sergeant, lieutenant, and captain of the Austin Police Department, but he was also a real estate investor. So he was a buy and hold guy, so he had rental property. So when I got into law enforcement, a few short years later, I became an investor myself, had a couple of properties that I was doing the buy and hold. And then, like I said, I got on with the police department in 92, bought my first property, I think about 95, and bought a few others after that. And it was, again, when I saw an opportunity when that charter change occurred to be on the other side of real estate as helping people buy and sell.
So prices were a little bit lower back then, I'm taking it,
Yeah,
are
a
now?
little bit. Yeah, it's hard to believe that they had new construction 3-bedroom homes under 150,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different day and age.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. So your most success early on was when you were still a police officer. Tell me more about that. Was that because of the connections with the police force?
Yeah, I think, and I wouldn't say the most success. I would say I didn't have to market. It was really just getting my name out there. And I'm a big proponent that people do business with those they know, like, and trust. And can never be more true than with police officers, because police officers rarely trust anyone. So if you're one of them, it becomes a whole lot easier to get their business.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
So then you took the leap after 12 years and you just went into real estate full time at that point?
No, so I actually retired because I was in a coffee distribution business, was in a network marketing arena with Rod Smith. And that retired me after 11 months of being in that business. I was able to walk away from a 6-figure income and go full time with the coffee business. So I was still part-time with real estate. I actually had like 16 years in before I said, you know what, let me try this real estate thing full time and see what happens.
Nice. So you were sharing with me off camera about some of the things you're doing to take real estate to the next level. Have you always thought that way, or was this more of a thing that took some time to develop and then you realized that a new level had to be brought to the real estate business?
Honestly, because I'm kind of a tech nerd and I like technology and I like the fact this age that we live in right now, it's changing so quickly. So I love just trying to keep up with it. And honestly, I didn't think that I would be looking to, make my home in real estate for, the next, multiple years of me working. But it's been kind of a marriage of the two. And I think because there is so much technology and many different ways that it can be used in real estate, and real estate, along with I think the insurance industry, is one of those areas that kind of stays stuck in the way it was done years ago. And it slowly transitions over into, the modern age. And so I see opportunity there. If everyone else wants to kind of stay stuck doing it one way, if I'm doing it a new and different way, it's going to definitely, bring attention to me and my business.
Yeah, nice. I love how you're embracing that, because not only is it awesome, but it's also enough to drive you nuts, or at least it drives me nuts. All the technology, it seems like every time I turn around, there's something new.
Yeah, it is. And it's yeah, you're right. I mean, and I'm 54, and I, think back to when I was younger and people hitting their 50s and 60s, and they would resist the changes in technology that were happening. And for me, I said, I'm not going to be that person, because I don't want to be, just to kind of give you an example, my mom is 86, and I just got her on Facebook because she wanted to be able to see a church service, and she's on Zoom. So I don't know if, so she doesn't, resist it all that much. I have to help her with it. And I want to be that guy when I'm 86. No one's helping me. I'm actually still showing other people how to do it,
Yeah,
without any help.
I'm the same way. I
Yeah.
actually have a story about that. I had an applicant last week for a mortgage who was 75 years old, and he told me right up front, he said, I'm not very good at technology,
Mhm.
but I taught him how to download our app, go into it, upload a document. And afterwards, he's like, that was easy.
Yeah.
Like, I can do this. So, I mean, anyone that's older listening, I mean, technology is just, I like your mindset. It's just about embracing it and doing what you can to keep up with it, and learning all of its benefits.
Yeah. And it definitely can make things easier and more efficient.
No doubt about it.
Mhm.
So tell me about some of the things you're doing now to take things to the next level, and how you're using technology.
Well, I thought for myself about 15 months ago, if I am going to look at, really involving my business in on the tech side, that I need to be with a company that's doing much of the same. And I really don't think that there's any other company out there that is constantly evolving in technology like EXP Realty. I mean, we have a founder, an owner of the company that comes from the IT world, that was, involved in a lot of startup companies prior to his venture into real estate. And once again, he was one of
Okay.
those people that said, hey, I want to marry the two and make something very unique. So that's, the direction I went 15 months ago, and we've been growing as an organization. And what I love about it is, prior to EXP, my thinking in regards to my real estate business, number one, it was just me. If anything, maybe I add a few team members, and we, build a business that really kind of encompasses the Metro Denver area. But the moment I joined EXP, my title changed to International Real Estate Advisor, because I realized that this company is in all 50 states. I can be in all 50 states. This company's in 24 countries. I can be in 24 countries. And I've been able to do business in a lot of those states, only being licensed in Colorado. Have some stuff that I'm working on right now in the Dominican Republic. I got an agent there that sells condos, beachfront condos,
Hmm.
and I market those condos here in Denver. Anyone that reaches out, I've had one person that reached out and said, hey, I want more information. And I get a split off of that commission, when that person closes. So it's allowing me to now think bigger and think from a global standpoint instead of a local standpoint in regards to my business.
That's really interesting. So you have plans to grow your team from what you're telling me, right? Are you going to
Yeah.
go international with your team?
Yeah, actually, that's probably going to happen sooner than I was expecting. I have one of the agents that just joined. She's going to Spain for a Spanish immersion course, a 1-year Spanish immersion course, and she's a top producer here in Denver. So she's already building her team of agents that's going to take care of her business while she's gone. And then her purpose for going to Spain is the Spanish. But she said, you know what? While I'm there, I might as well write off part of this trip and
Sure.
build an organization in Spain. And lo and behold, EXP is in Spain. So it just made sense for her to be able to do that. My goal was really, we're at about 54, 55 agents right now. Once we hit 100 agents, which I'm expecting to be probably midsummer, I then want to start branching out to other parts of the country where EXP is not as well known. There's surprisingly, Minneapolis has a small community of EXP agents, Omaha, Nebraska, Detroit, Michigan. So there's areas within the country where I want to be able to plant my flag and really help grow and build those organizations. So it's going to entail me, making trips back there, finding those key leaders and basically showing them this business model that myself, Monica Graves and Dan Gomer have put together here in the Denver market and just duplicating it in other cities.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you have a duplicatable system and a duplicatable business, something you can just take wherever you want.
Yeah, it's the McDonald's theory.
Yeah. Is that something that you and Monica and Dan developed, or is it EXP or a combination of both?
Really a combination of both. What we did, so EXP, has their business model. One thing that I looked at when I looked at EXP, I talked to agents that left EXP to find out why they left. And so I saw that they had a lot of great things that are already in place. But then because it's a cloud-based company, people are used to going into the office and people are used to, gathering with other agents and being able to have those conversations. They're used to being able to not just have online training, but have in-person training, have mastermind sessions. So the areas that EXP didn't necessarily fit that mold for agents, we said, you know what, we're going to fill those gaps. So now there's no holes in the system. So typically when I present on the EXP business model, I show you all these amazing benefits that EXP offers, but then I also show you what our organization, the Super Agents Collaborative, also has to offer.
I like that name.
Yeah.
Super Agents Collaborative. So what are some of those things that you do as the collaborative that set you apart?
So we have, again, we have newer agents that are joining us. We have seasoned agents. So that collaboration piece, that we wanted that to be a part of the name because of how important it is. Because what I see in real estate so often is competition. I mean, you go into Remax or Keller Williams or any of these offices, there's a leaderboard in regards to who's the front runner this month, who's the front runner for the year. And it's, it can be healthy competition, but at the same time, I think you can have even better healthy collaboration. So when you have seasoned agents that are working with brand new agents and helping them to grow their business, one of the things that we do, I do an accountability training. I'm sure you're familiar with the CORE and the Greatness Tracker. I was taught on the Greatness Tracker how to build my business, and that's what took my business to a whole nother level in 2017. And so realizing how successful that was for me, I started teaching it to other agents. And perfect example, I had an agent that joined me in March of 2022. She got her license in May of 2021, did not close one transaction on her own from May until she joined me. And from March until the end of the year last year, so less than a full year, she did 5.6 million in sales using that Greatness Tracker. So, and I got some other, we just started a new course and got some other ones that are going in that direction right now as well.
It's funny how when you just follow a model that other people have done in the past and have been
Yeah.
successful, how it works. It's like magic.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
That's awesome.
you know, a big part of that training also, because what I've learned, from my network marketing days, I had 3,000 distributors in one company, 1,200 in another, and I could train every agent or distributor on the same thing, but I would get different results. And a big part of that, what I realized, it was mindset. It was how you go into this blueprint that you have of creating success. If you go into it with the wrong mindset, it's not going to do anything for you. But if you go into it with the positive and the right mindset, then again, you're going to have a certain level of success with it.
Yeah. I think I heard a stat once that was something like 90% of successful salespeople have a positive mindset.
Oh yeah.
I'm actually surprised it's not 100%.
Oh yeah, I would think so. Yeah, I'd be interested to talk to those 10.
Yeah, those 10% that
Yeah.
make it with a negative mindset.
Yeah.
I think positivity is key for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we get beat up on a daily basis. It's not easy to call people and to stay with that success plan. So you have to be positive, I think, to keep
Oh
rolling
yeah.
on it.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, if you go into it with a negative mindset, it only takes one bad phone call to derail the whole day.
Right. And I personally found it's learning how to move on from those negative phone calls and
Yeah.
kind of put it behind you. I think about a quarterback that throws an interception and then like Tom Brady can come right back in and lead his team down the field for the game-winning touchdown right after throwing an interception.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I always use that 28-3 in the middle of the third quarter in the Super Bowl that they were down to the Falcons. I mean, that's truly a winner's mindset. There's a quote I remember that said, you can put a winner in a losing situation, he'll find a way to win, but you can put a loser in a winning situation and he'll find a way to lose. And I mean, once again, it comes down to mindset.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that came to mind too is I think didn't Jacksonville come up from behind and Trevor Lawrence threw 4 interceptions in the first half?
Yeah. Yeah.
And somehow they won the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another example.
Absolutely.
Like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, cool. So something else I wanted to make sure we talked about today was you were sharing with me some things you're doing on listings to really take things to the next level. Tell us about that. I mean, I think some of the things you're doing are just amazing.
Yeah, I think we've gone into a different market than what we've seen on the sell side for probably 8 years now. It's been a very strong seller's market. And I mean, you could put a sign in the yard, take some half decent pictures and have multiple offers up until about this time last year. Things started to change. And, being 21 years, I remember the days of the buyer's market. I remember 20,000 plus houses on the market and knowing that you had to do some pretty special things to make your house stand out. Well, I mean, that was in the early 2000s, and technology has come so far since then. And here it is, we're kind of approaching that type of market right now. So I really started looking last summer, okay, what can I do to stand out? And one of the things, is with listings, I said, you know what, I want to create something that every house, whether it's a $2 million house or a $200,000 condo, that we can put on a production. We can, make a movie trailer for this home and really showcase it, especially if it's a nice looking property. It deserves to be showcased. And so that's what I've created around digital and video content, where typically I'm creating for every home, not one video, but 3 different videos. I've always been told I got a voice for radio. So it finally clicked to me probably within the last year. I need to use this voice on voiceovers for my listings. So I've been doing that. And, I've again, with technology, I've learned how to edit video and create, and the proper way to shoot video myself. And then I have a team of videographers that I use as well that shoot the content that I can't necessarily shoot. One of the hottest new things that's coming along is the indoor drone video now, and the ability to really take a tour of a house through drone. I mean, we have Matterhorn and different ways that you can use that service, but if you can take a 2-minute video or a 1-minute video and it can take you through an entire house, and you pretty much have the whole layout through a video with a voiceover, it's just something new, and it's what I call scroll stopping type of content, where they stop to look at your video on Facebook or on Instagram. And as an agent, that it's going to get you attention. And if you're a potential seller that's coming up on selling your property and you see an agent doing that, that's the agent you want, listing your home.
Absolutely. I was going to say that's the secondary benefit, not just what you bring to that seller, but the business you get because other people see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the neighbor wants that kind of service when they list their house for sale.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And so it's really one of those pieces for me of, again, being a differentiator in the industry in regards to what everyone else is doing versus what I can be doing. And, it's a service right now. I'm just doing it for my clients, but I see the potential to be able to turn it into a business as well. Because, you can find the drone. I think there's one unique piece about me that I can go into a house, I can talk to the sellers, and I can envision the video before we ever create it. I think that is and even talking to some of the videographers that's one of the things that is a stumbling block for them, is when they ask a real estate agent, okay, what do you envision for this? And a lot of times the agent says, hey, just shoot it, just give me some content on it. But I create a story around it and, make it something that, again, it's very impactful for the sellers whose property it is, but it also is something that is creating a lot of buzz for those buyers as well, where they're going back and watching those videos multiple times.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you only have 2 seconds psychologically to capture someone's attention on the internet. So you have to be different.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
If you have just boring old photos, chances are they're probably going to scroll past your listing. So you said you tell a story through it. And you mentioned voiceover. Do you voiceover on the drone footage, on the videos?
Yeah.
Tell a story.
So perfect example. I have one coming up in Applewood. And, when we sat down, we talked about, I look at Applewood being, pretty much right at the foothills, 10 minutes from Golden, but 18 minutes from downtown and 22 minutes from Cherry Creek. I think they were telling me they can get to Winter Park in about an hour and 15 minutes. So it's like the epicenter from mountain life to city life. You're right at the center of it all. And then you have, the shopping and the dining and everything that Applewood has to offer. So just the community itself, we're creating one video just on the community. We'll talk about the house maybe 10 seconds, but we're going to talk more about the community. And then there's another video that just takes you through. They did an amazing remodel of this house. So we're going through and we're just talking about the kitchen and the updating and different features that they added there, the bedroom, and the fact that they have the washer and dryer are located in this. They took a bedroom and turned it into their master closet that has a washer and dryer located into it. So just in 2 patio areas on the backyard area. So really just kind of featuring all parts of the house.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of traction, comments, phone calls on those videos?
Well, so this is really the very first one, but I think you saw a video that I put out kind of announcing this whole project. But, from the people, because I've kind of been close to the vest with sending it out, but from the people that have seen it, it's getting a lot of attention.
Well, I'll tell you what. So that's why I asked you about this, because it popped on when I saw it on social, it popped and I saw it right
Yeah.
away. And I'm like, wow, that is something cool. That's different.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I noticed it right away. And that's why I reached out to you.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, I mean, that's what you got, the scroll stopping material. That's what you have to be able to put out right now. I mean, social media is, like you said, you got like 2 seconds to grab people's attention. So
Yeah.
you have to make the best use of it. And then if you're going to keep it, whatever comes after that 2 seconds has to, stand up, to be just as good as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I love too what you said about doing a video about the neighborhood and the area, because
Yeah.
people wonder about that stuff. It's one thing to read that restaurants are a mile away or whatever Redfin might say, but to have an actual video talking about how awesome the neighborhood is, I think
Yeah.
it's a great touch point.
Yeah, yeah. And like I said, it was through this particular client had listed with two different agencies. One of them was a discount agency, and the other one was the total opposite, a very high-end agency. And between those two, they got 4 showings. And so for me, it was one of those things. And the high-end agency, they did a video. There wasn't any voiceover. It was just music and video footage. And it was maybe 30 seconds. So it didn't really tell a story. So that was the part of it. When I looked at that, I said, okay, it's missing this, and it's missing the voiceover, and it's missing,
Mhm.
really giving people a feel. And then, it just so happened, I saw a video out of an agent out of Philadelphia that had a drone inside the house. And I said, it's missing that. so,
Like
so we
that's what
said,
I need.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mhm.
So what kind of an impact did it have on your listing presentation? Did you talk to this seller about these things when you made the presentation?
Yeah, yeah, and every presentation I do now, I take the videos that I have created and I'm showing those, and I mean it's jaw dropping for some people, and so I had a listing appointment yesterday. It's townhome, 425,000 is probably where we're going to be at, but I told them the same that I did for this $795,000 house, I'm doing for your house. And they were like, oh my God,
They're
I
probably
mean,
like, wow, you're doing that for us and we just
yeah,
have a townhome? That's
yeah,
great.
yeah. And that's really the thing that I think will certainly set this service apart, because this is something that's typically, I've seen it done to a certain degree, still not to this degree, with multi-million-dollar homes. But you don't typically see it for the 400, $500,000 home. And that's something that I want to be able to bring that service. And it costs, I get paid for my commission. There's no additional cost to my clients in regards to that.
Nice, nice. So someone listening might be thinking that's got to be super expensive. Like, how could I do that on a $400,000 townhome? Is it expensive, complicated? Um,
Well, for me, it's not, because I've learned, again, the video editing.
uh,
So my drone pilot, I just said, hey, send me the raw footage, and I'll take care of the rest. So what you saw, all he did was fly the drone. The music, the voiceover. Well, I don't think there was a voiceover in the one you saw, but the music and some of the slow motion with the camera.
mhm.
And bringing on text and things of that nature. I did all of that myself. So that was something that, like I said, that's that nerd side of me that likes the
Yeah.
technology and wanted to learn it. So again, that really cost me nothing. I paid for the drone service itself, and then the photos. I have a professional photographer that comes in. So I mean, realistically, I'm under $500 in regards to
Oh, it's
what
not
I'm
bad at all.
doing, and then it's just a matter of my time.
So what about though, if someone's thinking, they're not tech savvy, they don't have a video person, they don't want to learn how to do it. What would you recommend for someone like that?
They can reach out to me because I think
There you go.
I'm looking to build a business around this.
Okay.
I think a total package with the drone, the photos, as well as my services of having 3 to 4 videos, it's probably going to be roughly about $1,000. But again, if you're listing a $500,000 house, which is below the average median here, that's a $15,000 commission. And if you can put $1,000 towards this type of production, it's something that's going to set you apart, but more importantly, it's going to bring you more business.
I was just going to say that 1,000 is a drop in the bucket if the neighbor works with you and their friend that wants to have that kind of service, and then the person that sees you on Facebook or the buyer that comes to the open house.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I can see a lot of advantages to doing this.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. So can you send me a link after this podcast of this listing?
Yeah,
So
I have it uploaded on a link on YouTube. So I'll definitely send you that, and so you can see. And we still got one more video to create, the one on the neighborhood. But I'll send you that one as well, because all I did with that one is I shot some footage throughout areas in the neighborhood, but then like for the mountains, I got B-reel footage from story blocks, so so when you see it, it looks like a commercial style video for a home.
So what was that thing you just said? Story blocks or?
Story blocks is if you want royalty free music, or if you want B-reel film footage that you can use and not have any licensing issues, you can go there. I think it's about $350 a year that I pay to have access to all of that.
Okay, it's not bad.
Yeah,
I would love to check out those videos and see exactly what you're doing, because it sounds powerful.
Yeah.
All
right. Yeah, I'll definitely send you that.
Yeah, good stuff. So anything else you'd like to share with our listeners?
Like I said, with everything in real estate right now is evolving. I think, like I said, the business of real estate, how we do business is evolving. If you think just like, how we watch movies, we used to go to Blockbuster. Now we stream it right to our TV. It's changed the way that we watch movies, the way we move through transportation. If we're out of town, we don't take taxis. We're doing Uber. And really, real estate is no different. And I think being able to partner and align yourself with a company that is doing many of those things, and they've already put it in place for you, so there's not a lot of heavy lifting that you have to do. I would love to have conversations with anyone that has any interest in learning more about streamlining your business, revolutionizing your business, and taking it to a new level.
Yeah, because I think agents doing what you're doing are going to leave the other agents in the dust, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're right.
So how can people reach you if they want to reach out to you and pick your brain or talk about opportunities or what you're doing here?
So my main social medias are Facebook. I'm just Barry L. Overton there. If you put that in, you'll find me.
Okay.
And I keep it simple. Instagram is just Barry Overton. That's my at Barry Overton on there. Same thing with LinkedIn, and same thing on TikTok.
Okay. I think at the very least, anyone listening to this should go follow you and see what you're doing. But
and if you want to reach out, my phone number is 303-668-5433. Definitely happy to have conversations. I actually teach classes on utilizing Canva and Viva Video. That's my main editing app for the videos. And I just taught a class on that, teaching people kind of the 101 of video editing and utilizing and building content through Canva.
Okay, nice. Awesome. Well, you're a wealth of knowledge, Barry, and I definitely appreciate your time. This has been great.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thank you, RJ.
Yeah, you're welcome. And if you're listening to this and finding great value, I just encourage you to share this with a friend that could benefit from this, because just so many great ideas here. And also, if you enjoyed the podcast, please give us a 5-star review. That helps to get the listenership out there. And once again, my name is RJ Baxter with Intercap Lending. And thanks again, Barry. Really appreciate you
All right, thank you.
joining us.